Well, hello and welcome to the New Indian Express. This is Javaria Rana, and today we are taking a closer look at the newly announced defense budget and how the money has been allocated and what stands out. The centre has allocated rupees 7.85 lakh crore for defence in the Union Budget 2026-2027, marking an increase of about 15% over last year's budget estimates. In absolute terms, this remains the largest allocation for any ministry. However, when measured as a share of the economy, defence spending remains at around only 1.9% of GDP, which is broadly unchanged from recent years. This is the first defence budget since Operation Sindoor, and it comes amid a three-front security challenge involving Pakistan, Bangladesh, and China. In November, Defence Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh had indicated that the ministry was seeking a larger increase, around 20%, in the upcoming budget, along with the longer-term objective of raising defence expenditure to at least 2.5% of GDP. The current allocation, while higher in nominal terms, does not meet that benchmark. The most striking feature of this year's defence budget is the sharp increase in capital outlay. Capital expenditure for defence services has been set at rupees 2.19 lakh crore, an increase of around 22% since last year. Capital spending now accounts for about 28% of the total defence allocation. This money goes towards the procurement of fighter aircraft, warships, artillery, and armoured vehicles, as well as funding indigenous programs, including the development of a homegrown aero engine. The higher capital allocation also comes at a time when the Defence Ministry has several acquisition programs lined up, including the proposed contract for 114 Rafale fighter jets and the planned P-75I submarine project, for which India is in discussions with Germany. Within the capital budget, about 63,000 crore has been earmarked for aircraft and aero engines, while around 25,000 crore has been allocated for the naval fleet. The aircraft and aero engine segment has seen the largest increase within the capital head, rising from 48,000 crore last year to 63,000 crore. In parallel, the Defence Research and Development Organization's Gas Turbine Research Establishment, or GTRE, has also issued an expression of interest this month to identify a domestic industry partner and is in discussions with Safran for cooperation on aero engine development. Turning to the rest of the budget, the total defence outlay of rupees 7.85 lakh crore also includes rupees 3.65 lakh crore for defence services in terms of revenue, rupees 1.75 lakh crore for defence pensions, and rupees 28,000 crore around that for defence civil. The civil component in the budget covers expenditure on organizations such as the Indian Coast Guard, defence account establishments, research bodies, and administrative functions. Defence pensions continue to account for a substantial share of the budget at rupees 1.71 lakh crore, or about 22% of the total allocation. Revenue expenditure for the armed forces has been pegged at rupees 3.55 lakh crore, accounting for nearly 47% of the defence budget. This includes spending on pays and allowances, operational sustenance, and maintaining readiness across the three services. Of this, rupees 1.18 lakh crore has been earmarked for pay and allowances of the Indian Army, 20,000 crore for the Indian Air Force, and around 9,600 crore for the Indian Navy. So what does this budget tell us? There is a clear emphasis on capital expenditure and modernization, particularly in aircraft and naval platforms and, of course, indigenous capability. But at the same time, revenue spending and pensions continue to take up a large share of the defense outlay. And while the overall allocation has gone up, defense spending as a share of GDP remains well below the 2.5% level outlined by the Defense Ministry, pointing to a clear gap between security requirements and available fiscal resources. Well, if this helped you understand the budget better, hit like, subscribe, and share, and follow us for more such news.